Hello students, my name is Sumit Mehta. So in today's lecture, we will discuss about how coordination in plants take place. So as animals have a nervous system for controlling and coordinating the activities of the body, but plants have neither a nervous system, have neither a nervous system nor muscles to respond. Okay, so how do they respond to stimuli? When we touch the leaves of a chui mui, it is shown here that when we touch the leaves of a chui mui, they begin to fold up and droop. And when a seed germinates, the root goes down, the stems comes up into the air. What happens? So let's say, firstly, the leaves of the sensitive plant, the leaves of the sensitive plants move very quickly in response to touch, in response to touch. Okay, so there is no growth involved in this movement. There is no growth involved in this movement. On the other hand, the directional movement of seeding is caused by growth. So, on the other hand, the directional movement of a seeding, the directional movement of a seedling is caused by growth of a seedling is caused by growth if it is prevented from growing, if it is prevented from growing, it will not show any movement. It will not show any movement. Okay, so plants show two different types of movement, one dependent on growth and the other independent of growth. First is dependent on growth and second is independent on growth, not dependent on growth. Okay, so these are the two types of movements. Now we will see about immediate response to stimuli, and in the next lecture we will discuss about movement due to growth. So first discuss about the immediate response, that is independent of growth. Let me first delete this. So now we will discuss about immediate response to stimulus, which is not related to the growth. So let us think the first kind of movement, such as that of the sensitive plant, which is shown here. Okay, since no growth is involved, the plant must actually move its leaves in response to touch. So how the plant responds to touch? But there is no nervous tissue nor any muscular tissue. But how do the plant detect that touch and how do the leaves move in response? So that we will see here. If we think about where exactly the plant is touched, where exactly the plant is touched, and what part of the plant actually moves and what part of the plant actually moves, it is apparent that movement happens at a point. It is apparent that movement happens at a point. Movement happens at a point different from the point of the touch. So means where we touch, the movement actually happens at some different point. At a point different from the point of touch. From the point of touch. Okay. So the information that a touch has occurred must be communicated. So the information that a touch has occurred, that a touch has occurred must be communicated. Must be communicated. The plants also use electrical chemical. The plants also use electrical chemical means which were used by the animals or humans means to convey this information. To convey this information. Okay, from cell to cell. But unlike in animals or humans. Okay, but unlike in animals, there is no specialized animals. There is no specialized tissue in plants. In plants for the conduction of information, means for the to information to carry information. So finally, again as in animals, some cells must change shape in order for movement to happen. Instead of the specialized proteins found in animal muscle cells, animal muscle cells, plant cells change shape by changing the plant cells change their shape by changing the amount of water in them, resulting in swelling, resulting in swelling, shrinking, therefore in changing shapes. So how the shape of the plant change when you touch the plant, like in chui mui, that when you touch the plants, the leaves fold up on touching with fingers. So this is how they react, means the amount of the water in the plants changes and they results in like swelling and shrinking, thus resulting in changing the shapes. So, and in the next lecture, students, we will discuss about the movement due to the growth of plants. Okay, here we have seen about the immediate response to stimuli. So stay tuned for the next lecture on movement due to growth. Thank you. Happy learning.